What's up, everybody? Good morning. Can you hear me? Hope the mic's working. Hope the camera's working, because I was a little late because it all did not work. Y'all pray that I get through this troubling time of this stuff not working. Very bad. Anyway, good to see you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some crazy stuff, if this will allow it. And before anybody says anything about my gloves, these are called Tommy Coppers. They have copper in them to help with carpal tunnel. Because I know there's always some lurking whatever channel wanting to talk crap. So that's what those are. Anyway, if you watched the live the other night that we did with Harsh Reality, you'll know that I had some issues with a new shaver while doing a fade. I fixed it, by the way. It's a little short, but it'll do. I faded it in pretty nicely. It'll do. So, that's done. That's fixed. Don't have to worry about that. I'll deal with the baldness on the sides, just not on the top. Went real short. Anyway. Let them talk crap. Yeah, I know. We're doing big things over here. Or at least big things in the research. I feel. Maybe not. People might. Oh, that's nothing. But if you've been following where we've been digging, I feel like we've been doing some big things. It's connecting stuff. Even if it's nothing to do with one thing, it might be big. I'm going to say one thing. I'll say Summer's case. Even if it doesn't, maybe it'll help save another child in the area. But I think there's a lot devil in the details, for sure. So, we will start right here in a minute. I was trying to see if somebody came in here. Hey, Inquisitive Jade. Hey, Judy Johnson. Oh, handsome as ever. Thank you so much. So, I don't know if y'all... I'm probably going against advice from the people that I converse with, as far as people that help me with research. And I want to say that first. So there is somebody that moderates for us. We've talked to for quite a while now. And I don't know if she feels comfortable. I'm not going to put her screen name out there, but she's helped me. She's the one that actually needs to be credited for what I'm going to show you. She brought this up the other day and sent it to Allie, and I was like, I don't think everybody realizes how big this potentially is. So let me see. Chasing Justice, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm feeling chipper. Thank you. Said looking all chipper cam. Let me see who's in here, because I'm waiting for... Is Fizzle in here? Hey, Fizzle. I was gonna see if Benny or somebody, one of y'all wanted to come up, and while I show this, you're more than welcome to. Oh, thank you, Oreo. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And my cat just opened the door. It scared the crap out of me. They are smart. They get up on their back paws. They push the door open. Hey, Momo. I text with him this morning when he had his morning live. And by the way, look, I'm proud of the changes he's making. He's rising above some stuff. And, I've noticed, and I think a lot more have noticed, that Benny is trying to step away from certain things, and that's admirable. He didn't want to engage in a lot of that. I don't even know the details of it. I don't even know anything about it. I'm not talking crap about anybody over here. I'm just saying, when you try to better yourself and you try to do better things as far as how you react to certain things. Best believe I've learned lessons through this. Um, oh, okay. Sorry, Fizzle. Yeah. But I've learned more than anybody through this that the way, uh, a lot of people, I mean, I learned lessons I'd never known about myself as far as how people react and how I reacted to certain issues that came up through this. A lot of people say just ignore it, just move on. Um, Sometimes you can't do that with this because something like that can grow to this big in a day. We all know how the attention span on YouTube is and how it changes from day to day. So if we choose to say, look, come over here, we'll lay it all out on the line. No more of this. I got this on you, and I've got this on you, and I'll put this out on you if you don't do this for me. Lay it all out there. Be real about it. It's time to stop. These trolls are going damn way too far. You don't mess with people's kids, and you don't mess with their family. You don't dox their homes. You know, I've been through it a lot, but I'm just gonna say this. Through some of the people that we cover in true crime, I guarantee you a lot of people, if you mess with their children, that they're gonna, they might take it in their own hands, and that's what a lot of parents that really stand for something, they, for their children, they're gonna go spend a lifetime in prison to protect them if they have to. Just the way it is. It's going way too far. Anyway, so I wasn't reading the chat. Do you want to come up, Penny, or let me see who's in here? Penny, I think you probably want to come up here for this. Jaded, yeah, we all have, for real. So let's not discount anybody. We all have the ability to change the way we walk this life that we're given. That's regardless of your beliefs, regardless of what anything is, we have a conscience that tells us what's right and what's wrong. If we veer too far left or right and lose that ability to listen to our conscience, then we have issues. But it's all about a choice. We have a choice to walk the right way. It's the straight and narrow. Or we have a choice to walk the path of destruction. And I'm choosing to try to go this way. I might not do everything right. I might make mistakes. I might jump to conclusions. But, at the end of the day, it's how you fix that. You notice it. You crush your ego and you say, look, I've been wrong about a lot. And crushing the ego is your first step. Moving on. So, all right, let me see who said anything. All right, call him. Let me know what's up. I'm gonna get. So, like I said before I came on here, my computer went haywire. It wasn't even picking up. Something's going on with this. I'm telling you. Like, I've done everything there is to do to fix this thing. Something's up with it. Like, it's never said I can't read your camera, can't read your microphone. It's when I try to go into StreamYard. It's never done that. I don't know what's up. Just moving slow, trying to glitch out. Something's wrong, and I don't know if it's a virus, somebody messing. It's been ever since. Coincidence, maybe, but it's been ever since we talked about the info and stuff we're bringing out. This stuff has been crazy, and I don't know if they're saying shut up. The powers that be. This info is crazy. I mean, it's taking a that disclaimer or whatever you want to call it right here. It's taking a huge risk for me and my wife, for my family, for me to talk about this stuff because a lot of people will veer away from it. They don't want to. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Being from this area, making me close to that over there is dangerous. Talking about this stuff. Oh, I don't know. I asked for a prayer. I asked for just, if you don't believe in prayer, positive thoughts, send them this way. I'm taking precautions on my home security, everything. I've been working on that. My vehicles security, cameras everywhere. So if these nut jobs are out there listening, if you watch this, just know I have cameras everywhere. They will see you. And they... Hold on a second. Okay. All right, let me pull this up. Give me just a second. Hope this works. Oh, cool t-shirt. Thank you. This one is Sasquatch Chronicles. You ever seen that? You ever listened to it? I mean, on YouTube, it's good. It's good. Very interesting. I love it. Avery's mom, she said, "What's happening, Cam?" Look, okay, so very dangerous to talk about this information. We've dug down a rabbit hole and put some things together that are very big and very compelling. And it started when John Allen Biggins was arrested, and he's a former law enforcement. By his name getting out there, we've started with him, and we're working back, and a lot of things have been found. So, oh, okay. Are you in there? Are you in chat? Oh, I got you. Hey, Whistle While You Lurk. How you doing? All right, Benny's going to join me. Oh, crap. What am I doing? That's not how you... trying to share my screen, send him a link. Gosh. My mind is everywhere but here. Okay. Hey, Benny, here's the link, man. It's just for Benny. Come on up. Thank y'all, Denny Lenny. Thank you. It's look, it's not just Joe Popowick. Hey, I understand. This dude is scary. But he is connected to things that are even more scary, and to people in numbers. Oh.
Hey, brother.
What's up, dude?
Sorry, I'm just a few minutes late. I apologize.
Are you all right?
I'm here for it. Thank you. I want to mention thank you for your support this morning.
No problem.
You didn't have to do that, and you did that, and I sure appreciate you, bro.
No, yeah, no problem, man. Look, I know I've seen that you're for real trying to move it, and it's not been just recently. I've seen it for a while. You've been trying to move in a better direction. You're trying to do things, like you said yourself. You said, I want this channel to go into, even if CrimeCon people think it's not big, I want to sit at the table up there. I want to represent it as a true crime channel. That's what we're all trying to do.
Yes, sir.
It might not be big to other people, but to be considered a web sleuth and somebody who's really doing something, I'll take that. I know
it's quite a responsibility that goes with that, and I've understood that to be a web sleuth is, is to portray yourself in the most professional light you can publicly, and when you get involved in things that aren't sleuth, then it's poop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real. So I'm telling you, man, I don't know how is your computer and stuff been working good?
Everything's a little bit jazzy right now.
Dude, mine is everybody. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a little bit jazzy right now. Everything is touch and go, and the connections aren't working like they were before. I get what you're talking about.
Same, dude. All right, let me pull this up. This now, dude, y'all are gonna. This is crazy. Y'all better be ready. And like I said, I credit the person who found it. She's been watching, and she's been a big help. And there's also another person I want to give a shout out to. I'm not gonna put her name out there, but she knows who she is. She's been helping me a lot with this too. And oh, dang man,
And
I
she's
had
a powerhouse too when it comes to research.
oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
And
she'll cut right through it like a knife through butter. No
yeah,
problem.
Allie, dude, and Allie too, man.
Yeah, Allie's a genius with that stuff.
I give her. She's taught me a lot of how what I've been doing. She's the one who taught me that stuff, and she's quick about it. I'm like, how'd you find that fast?
I know. Takes me a while to make some connections sometimes, but
Me,
there are some very brilliant men and women here that are just phenomenal.
oh my god, dude, you ain't. Hold on. This there ain't no way. Hold on a second. Okay, there it is. Shoo! I was like, it's missing.
Oh no.
I was like, yeah, that would confirm it for me. I'd be like, I'm done. All right, let's share this here. How you been doing anyway? Did I
Man,
know y'all were
I'm
moving?
so blessed. Yeah, we've been moving. We've been moving for the better part of 2 months, but it's every day it's a heat advisory. Today, actually, we've been blessed. It's almost noon and 11:30, and it's only 91. Usually be 109 already. So
Wow.
yeah,
It didn't even get up to the 80s yesterday, man. Here, I was
wow,
like, yeah.
it's killing us, dude.
All right, so right here, I can't see two screens. I'm working on getting another monitor so I can do that, but I can't see the chat, so I'm gonna try it. Tell me if anything glitches up or y'all can't see me or something.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I already see the first line right there, bro.
Yeah,
Oh man,
dude.
whoa!
All right, so this is from the Carlie Trent case. When you hear this, remember what we've been connecting, okay? Ogden, Utah law enforcement have received multiple leads that suggest a missing 9-year-old girl from Rogersville, Tennessee, and her abductor may be near Utah. According to a post on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children Facebook page, Carlie Marie Trent and her uncle by marriage, 57-year-old Gary Simpson, who took her from school Wednesday, May 4th under false pretenses, and or the vehicle Simpson was last seen driving may be traveling on Interstate 84 to U.S. Highway 15. They may have also been spotted in the mountain home and Idaho Falls.
Wow!
Y'all know what Idaho
Whoa!
Falls. We've been following John Allen Biggins. His counterpart has also addresses
Connection.
in Idaho Falls. We have one of the mocks having a connection to Idaho Falls in the same time as Michael Vaughn. He was on the Snake River. Uh, Look, it just keeps getting bigger. Something is going on in those areas with children. They had a reason to believe they were going that. Why? Okay, we'll keep going. Idaho Falls is about 175 miles and 2.5 hours from Ogden. I-84 goes through Box, Elder, and Weber counties.
It's only.
We
I'm going to add really quick. Not to disrupt you. It's only 87,000 people in all
yes,
of Ogden, Utah. Very
yes,
small community.
yes. Big, big, big. This is or not big that as far as people, but this is big. This gave me chills when I saw it, dude. Do you not think it's big?
I do find it very interesting that there's yet another connection back in this way.
To and look, so I don't, Shepherd, that's big in John Allen Biggins' spouse, girlfriend, whatever. She has her address, former address is Idaho Falls. All these mocks have connections back to Idaho Falls. Mocks are, um, Mary Sexton
Correct.
Goat. That's her daughter's last name, the Mocks. Now, so it goes a little bit further, and we're going to get into that. These connections I wanted to show this because here's a missing case, and it might not apply to Summer, but the people that are involved in this are connected to Summer, and dude, I can't. I have to get a whiteboard so we can just put these lines. Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to get yarn and pens or something.
You got to see the way it hooks together, old
Yeah,
school style. Yeah,
I mean, I
I
see
get
it
it.
in my head, but to convey it to you guys, you know what I mean?
It's difficult.
It is. Um, hold on one second, guys. Not hold on one.
Uh, it's her uncle by marriage. Okay. Wow. It says in 2020, the population was 87,000. 87,175. That's a pretty tight knit community.
Sorry, guys.
Especially,
My child has to run to the bathroom. I had to help her.
oh, no worries. Especially when you think in terms of some of the religious oddities and things, like the polygamy and different things that come from out west in Utah, Idaho areas. That's extremely concerning.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess where am I at here? I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. Okay, so it says Idaho Falls is about 179 miles and 2.5 hours from Ogden. The crazy thing about this is John Allen Biggins' girlfriend also has an address where? Ogden. Ogden, Idaho
Damn.
Falls. Now, Weber County here also. Where is Don facing charges potentially out of Weber County? Okay, I'm telling you that we have deep dived on a lot of rabbit holes. Nothing like this. It might be potentially something, it might not. But also, the address of Shepard, who is Biggins' girlfriend, is just not even a block away from Don's former address. Now, these addresses are at different times. I don't know how long she was there. I'm just saying I had to add that in. I'm like, what are the chances that they're this close? Um, okay, to go a little bit farther now. So we know that the Trents, James Trent, has connections to Dudley. Dudley has connections.
Wow.
Okay, that points if this thing could be so big, or it could be very little. But the mocks, okay, this is where it's going to get hard. Okay, I'll make sure I read everything here. Yeah, all right. And I will leave this link. Just go to Johnson City Press. Y'all can find it there if you need to reference it. But I will try to link this in the description. I should have done that beforehand. All right, let me close this out. Okay. Look, if people don't think, I wanted to bring this up the other day. Benny, did you ever notice that Dudley, every time he talks, it's like he's talking about the 15th a lot of times?
Yeah. Yep.
That
Yeah.
dude,
He's stuck there too.
that dude shouldn't have been there on that 15th.
No.
So how does he
No.
know everything? And he talks like it. I mean, he knows a
It,
lot. Weird.
he does, and I think that's probably a mix between potential interactions with MGL and them at the time. I think that he probably had many conduits to info,
But
but
he
I
was
do.
talking like that on
Right. Correct.
the first interview.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But then what really kills me about that interview and what really made me side eye him is he put a mix of different things that have been said through this case and put it all into one story and gave it to them as fact at the end of that
Correct.
interview.
Correct. And what I've come to realize is that through stress and pressure and tragedy, there's the possibility that we could misidentify what could look like deceit to us, just as an inconsistency in an eyewitness account, right? Oh,
Yeah.
well, this person saw purple. This person claims they saw pink. Well, it's you've got to be able to deduce whether it's an inconsistency or if it's a lie. And I think in this gentleman's situation specifically, we've been able to figure out that many of the things he said is not just an inconsistency, but a deceitful statement.
Right. Right. And know that Hillbilly Nitro, these are Tommy Coppers. They're for carpal tunnel. That's why I'm wearing them.
And they look badass.
No, thank you. I'll take that, man. I was like, man, people are going to give me hell about them, but it's all right.
Probably catch a YouTube football super good.
Hey, look, they got the grips on them.
Yeah, I seen it.
All right, so I've got. Okay, hold on a second. Let me answer. Oh, okay. She said, "Tell me what to write. I'll send you a pic." Okay. So Penny's got a whiteboard that's like 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
and
she's putting it together.
Yeah, I'll start helping add to it. Now I'm gonna have to pull up this on my phone to try to get into this part of the details. Now, let me go back up here. This woman has worked so hard, and this is a different.
Yes, she has.
Yeah. Oh, you know who I'm talking about?
I know at least one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in one band, I was just by chance that I even got to speak to her, but she's helped me. And I have to say, I have put my work into with this, man. I slept all day. Allie, man, she let me sleep all day yesterday. She was like, I know that it's been mentally exhausting. I don't know if y'all get like that. When you start diving into stuff, man, I can't even look at words that are wrote down after a while.
Yeah, no, it's just they start to crawl around on the page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or start moving this way.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, slow down. I'm trying to catch up to you.
All right, guys, y'all know who the last name McLean is? Do you remember one of the people that Don? Now, I was making sure I said everything about Dudley, but who are the first two people that Don pointed the finger at? You have Dudley and Jerry McLean, who's now passed away from an overdose. So rest in peace to him. But
what was the overdose of? Opioid?
I believe so.
Okay.
JLR actually knew about that before anybody, and he talked about it, but I don't know if everything is correct in there or not. I didn't look into it, but I know the name, and I was wondering why. This guy was an older gentleman. Now I'm not saying McLean is involved at all. We're just talking, and because he was pointed by Don Wells as maybe being somebody involved. I am going to speak about his name. So before anybody gets offended, it is what it is. We're trying to find a child. People say, you're not a cop, Cam. You're not. I know I'm not. But I know that we can do things, look into things, and maybe be helpful. Just because Hawkins County and TBI say that they don't want help, you can look at all these other cases and see that they do want help. And they need help from people. The more people that helps. Do you agree?
Right. I agree.
I don't know.
I agree wholeheartedly.
And it depends. I'm sure with this stuff you have to make, I guess, a name and say, look, where they're going to look at you and be like, look, he's putting out credible things. You know what I mean? So,
and at the same time, some of these materials for law enforcement, they've already have that road mapped out, or B, if they don't have it mapped out, you could give them one name and they can certainly run through all the connections, very hastily. Quickly. Yeah.
And look, and everybody needs to take into account that nobody knew about John Allen Big until he got caught. The feds might have by investigating him. But this is new, so I'm guessing it would probably be new to law enforcement. Did they put it together? Did they think to? Dude was in Nashville We know they didn't question Don Sherfy Jr. till 8 months. Well, we don't even know if they ever did, but as
Right.
of 8 months in from his father's mouth, he hadn't been talked to.
No.
Why? That's
I mean, I'm guessing that it's compartmentalized in a way. See, we run into the issue not just with children's, well, not even really with children's cases, but the conduit of state to state reporting of certain kinds of crimes.
yeah,
There's no obligation for a lot of crimes for state to state to cooperate. You hope that they cooperate when it comes to children's cases, but it doesn't always. It's not bona fide. It doesn't. There's no obligation per se outside of the Amber Alert, right? So when you start to see states, in my opinion, you see states starting to cooperate, like Rogersville in Utah or Idaho in Tennessee. You start to see that, in my opinion, that law enforcement is trying to make larger connections with these children's cases, from Trent to Summer Wells to Monkey Vaughn. They're putting in work to try to find a larger connection.
yeah. I agree with that. And what do you? I mean, how do you feel as far as those Sherfy? He's in the county that's closer.
That's well, I think that could be some of the confusion, is that there may have been some sort of inadvertent compartmentalization of Sherfy, and this is my opinion, of Sherfy Jr. As he relates to Ben Hill
Right.
and the activities that have happened on Ben Hill. So if that were the case, you certainly would want to believe that law enforcement had came back and swept that into the dustpan and taken care of it.
Yeah.
We don't have any context to know if they did or they didn't, but you certainly, I mean, to appease just your wildest inkling, if you've got a guy like Sherfy that's running around anywhere, and you've got a little girl that, is missing from down the street by his dad's house, you have to look into it. You have to.
Thank you, Tingle Bar. We appreciate it. Thank you for becoming case cracker. I think that's what you got. I was gonna tell him. I was gonna name, because people want to make jokes all the time. I was gonna name one of my tiers crackheads. Man, I'm turning it around on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is something too that I wanted to maybe add with the Sherfy Jr. thing, and maybe why he wasn't questioned in that. But you do have, in these areas, you have favor with former law enforcement. You have good old boy systems. It happens.
Yeah, and nepotism, which is,
Yes.
AKA, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was, to how these people get into these, and this is a very, very hard thing to even try to research, and even don't want to research. But these dudes that do this, like he was with images and stuff, to get on the dark web and be a part of those groups, they have to show that they are 100% into it for these people to accept them in. So
I would agree. There would have to be, it's like the mafia, the gang, a group of bank robbers, like anything else where somebody can lose their freedom. You would think that there's some sort of qualifying, not ritual, but some sort of qualifier. Like, if you're going to be a part of this, you got to show us that you're not going to do this, that, or the third,
That's right. And
yeah.
You know how he was uploading, not to the dark web, but Instagram and Snapchat.
Yeah.
Was that
children are there.
Right. Was that his initiation to the dark web? You know what I'm saying? Is that what he was doing? Were they, the thing that bothers me very badly with this is Frank. Okay, it's no coincidence that all these dudes have the same freaking charges. Same.
Right.
From, Sherfy, if people aren't aware, is former law enforcement for Sullivan County, where Biggins got busted, where Randy Hass got busted. For this, well, I don't even, Biggins is going a little farther. He tried, if people aren't familiar, tried to connect with a mother who was being played as what was a federal agent posing as a mother, pretty much essential, pimping out a 4-year-old child.
So he's on state charges, right? Or is he state and
Federal
federal?
Department
Okay.
of Homeland Security. Now, are you talking about
Got him.
Turkey or
Good.
Biggin?
Good.
Which one are you talking about?
Biggins.
Biggins, yeah.
Yeah.
Sherfy now, his is out of Sullivan County. And then I don't know, is Reservoir Road, is it Sullivan or Hawkins?
I
I didn't
think
even
that's Sullivan.
I think so too, maybe.
Yeah.
It's still in Sullivan County. So he wouldn't, they let him out on bond. He couldn't have went. So I see what's happening. So you have Sherfy stays at the Mox Goads home all the time, but his other house is on Reservoir Road. Reservoir Road has a lot of connections to a lot of bad people, lots of them.
Correct.
But I don't know why that is. So this is this is why I'm going with the Sherfies before we go back to the McLean thing. Now it'll wrap. So the Sherfies, he don't have ties to the Mox and ties to the Lights just through marriage. Now we know Frank Light and Daniel Sherfy are best friends. That Daniel Sherfy being Sherfy Sr.'s little brother. They are best friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Not only that, Sherfy is related to the Lights. We found it. We found the connection. He's related to the Lights. So it's not just knowing. He is one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And that was
Good
big.
work.
Yeah. He is one. Now, people might not know this. I've spoke to somebody very, very, very close to Frank Light. And that, okay? I will not say who, but I'm going to say very, very close. She said that she herself, let me see how better to do this. So not to hurt her or anything, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she said that she herself, from a very young age, had been going through SA and everything. She said there are tons down there just because they're not registered. There's tons. Okay. This bothers me because if we already know they cover for each other. I'm echoing really bad on your side, I think. Okay, thank you. Um, so we already know that they cover for each other. They're not gonna roll on each other. They're not gonna tell. This makes it a little different. Now that she has said that, they're definitely no. But if it has something to do with a child, they're probably you're never gonna hear it. If these people are, when I say numbers, these families are in numbers. There's tons of them. And they are in all walks of the community, all jobs, all everything. We already know that we have a problem with RSOs and law enforcement. They are doctors. The one who did the kit on Carlie Trent, he got busted for SA on 2 teenage boys. Just a little bit after that happened with Carlie Trent. We know it's there, and we know it's massive. Okay. So I wanted to put this stuff out. So as far as Sherfy, he is a light. Keep that in mind, okay? All right, back to Jerry McLean. Now, I think that I gotta be careful, man. I think that all arrows point
Yes,
toward.
please be careful.
I'm trying, man. It's scary to me. Um. Okay, thank you, Tingle Bar. I appreciate
If you don't feel
that.
good about it, don't do it. If you don't feel good about it,
Yeah.
that would be my opinion. But if you feel good about it, then
Yeah, and you're right, man. I'm just trying to. Okay. All right. I'm just okay. So I feel like all arrows point back to the home behind the wells because of due
Where the
to
footprint was?
yes.
Correct.
Guys, if y'all don't know, believe it or not, I'm telling you, you can take it or leave it. Those footprints were there. Her scent was alerted on there. And, you know, they're on another property too. Not multiple. Those. No scent trail leading in between. No telling which way, which one was left first. We know that law enforcement had been all in there searching and was all over this area before the dogs alerted. So by
Was there any?
property,
Was there ever any idea of the direction of travel, like which way
that's what
the
that's what
toes were pointed?
no, it was never said.
Okay.
So the property owner that actually spoke it, which is a great thing that this man spoke out, or we wouldn't know nothing. This property owner, when at the very beginning, he speaks out in a Facebook group. Thank God for my wife being who she is, and she screenshot all of them, and she knew it was a big deal. And I was like, hold on a second, hold on, man. It's on.
Okay.
I've not.
Something new just hit.
No, somebody said don't talk about that. Yeah, she said she's not right. I haven't talked to her before about anything. This is hold on. I don't know what that was. Okay, so all right. What did I just say? Okay, about the footprints. Thank God that my wife did screenshot them and other people did too. Or I mean, she could tell when she caught it right when they came out. She knew this was going to be big part of it. This man, I believe, is very credible. Come to find out, months later, when people went and spoke to him, he's very credible, and but a lot of people believe, not a lot of people, but the people that have spoke to him and been in contact believe the man. Jody Sue herself. Now, listen to this. This is weird to me. Did you hear? I don't know if you heard this, Benny. And I showed the
Probably
message.
not. I'm
I
here
showed
for it
the
though.
messages. I showed the messages between Jody Sue and us when she messaged back in October. She said to us, first of all, she tried to say that the footprints were bull. She said they were bullshit. Those are her exact words. I said no. I said no, they're not. I said, are you saying that the property owner is not credible? She said no, he is. Then I'm like, what? She's like, oh, maybe law enforcement is just telling me that to throw me off. She tried to divert us, and then was telling everybody else they were real. Why?
Well, because you're a true crime correspondent, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that was okay. People are texting the crap out of me. uh, they're all like, whoa, whoa, hey, oh, hey. All right. So, okay. So there, the footprints of we have people might not know. A set of them were located around Mary Sexton's property. That's where Sherfy stays. Yeah, I don't find all this to be coincidental. I'm not going to say anybody's guilty of anything. I'm just saying pay attention to that. The scent was located. Now, what I was saying back at the other property is the property owner put a message on. He said law enforcement had been all through that area. The scent, by the time the dogs alerted on the scent, it was not recognizable if there was any other footprints with those. He made a point to say so. Obviously, there could have been a potential. I don't know, why would you mention that? Could there be a potential that there was other prints that they see something that could have? I don't know. But why would you mention it? You know what I'm saying? Benny, what do you think?
Well, I think that's also the nature of people that are involved in situations, whether it be mess or drama or tragedy. A lot of people have different motivating factors for what statements they make, and I would say that it would be very concerning to me that you have the individual there that's telling some folks one thing on the ground, but then telling you another thing.
What
All
do
of
you mean?
those. Well, you're
As
saying that
far
the
as
lady.
her,
Yes, right.
you know who I was saying did that, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. You don't
Okay.
have to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
saying her name no more either.
yeah. For I don't know. It's super confusing, but to find the motivator for why things are the way they are. In this scenario, there's many motivators.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have, the inner holler politics. You've got a very strong. I mean, this drug market they have is
That's not the
thoroughbred.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was saying that was the part I was kind of what that I was asking about was why do you think that he, the property owner, would have mentioned even that there might be other footprints near Summer, but that law enforcement had tracked all over it. Nobody,
I think
nothing.
okay. Okay.
You see where I'm going? See what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
focused on the wrong question.
Yeah,
I'm guessing for the property owner to come out and try to clear things up.
nothing had been said about it. That's what.
Yeah, something happened. It's theoretically, in my opinion, something must have happened on his property, whether it be with law enforcement or with searchers or whatever.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And
Chargers had been all over it, and
right,
there was no way to determine.
it sounds as if he's claiming that the sample was trampled on, or other samples could have potentially been trampled on. And I'm guessing theoretically maybe he was already loading up to go against anything that the mayor may or may not have said.
Yes,
Yeah, so in my opinion, I think he was clearly contradicting someone in the area, or people. He wanted clean air information out
yeah.
about the footprints, and you're right. Without that, there would be no context.
And then he's the one that made the property owner is the one that made the first talk about because the prints were and her scent was there, and then three
Picked up
quarters
like
of a mile saying that it's like somebody had sat her down. It was like somebody was walking, sat her down, picked her up, walked, sat her down. He's the one that made that. So did he hear that from searchers and law?
it certainly sounds as if maybe he heard that, or he could have maybe deduced it. But I'll tell you that for me, the shining spot in this portion of the tragedy is that there are footprints, Cam. There's
Yeah,
footprints which suggest that the child is upright and alive when it's set
yeah,
down,
yeah,
and there's no biological fluids in the footprint to suggest that she's been harmed and moved away,
yeah.
which would essentially, it would negate things like the call that came out a month or 6 weeks ago that got leaked, like things where people have said that Summer may have been hurt. The footprints certainly suggest that she wasn't hurt.
True.
Yeah.
But if somebody was carrying her, if somebody she knew, I just don't know how. This is what bugs me. Like, how do you get a scent here? She is barefoot now.
Correct.
Remember what we've heard that they got a scent from a shoe.
Right.
That surgeons originally got a scent from a shoe. Um, then her scent was probably pretty strong, and the dog was on the foot thing already.
Yeah.
So he's alert on these footprints, and how does there no scent trail in between them? How can that's what I don't get that. And then
It does. It seems phenomenal that it could be that way. It doesn't suggest that there's any other situation for how the footprints, because I had poked fun at the placement of the footprints by saying, well, I guess we have a 200-foot child that can step 3/4 of a mile in between steps and leave no trail between, right? So
yeah,
that part was concerning to me, but with understanding that child walked all over that area. Even the driveway in terms of, Mr. Rader's commentary that the scent went down the driveway.
Yeah.
I mean, the child could have walked down that driveway earlier that day.
Yeah. True.
Right. So if the child was removed from the hill by a parental unit, and you have this scent going down the hill, well, then I think quite naturally we can get to the end in the back of this thing and understand that if she was moved in a vehicle and they have these footprints in this trail going down the driveway, that those things actually theoretically might not even connect. They could be from separate times. I mean, just because the child walked down the driveway potentially earlier in the day doesn't mean that the scent, it vanishes.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a degrading, every moment it's exposed to the elements in the air and the wind and all the other things, it starts to degrade, but
right.
It's still there. It's still there.
Right. And that one right there doesn't, the one at the driveway is not as, like you said, she lives there. She could have went down there, could have went back, anything. Now the ones, people think, half a mile isn't very far, which she should have never been there. Where those prints were down on the Beach Creek side, that first property.
Right.
People say, she could have been. She's there. She's just never been there, and the placement of it behind the property owner even goes as far as he says it was behind a ridge that you could not see from the house. Now they did their due diligence on this, and they got all his children's shoe sizes, where they were, all that to make sure that it wasn't one of his children.
So the one thing that I found interesting was that when you look at the aerial photos and the aerial videos of the search, the ground appears to be pretty dry. There is a portion where you see an officer with a bloodhound, and I'm guessing he's coming around the corner at Ben Hill and Simpson right there in that little low-lying area in the ditch. There's a little standing water. But it always struck me, like, what was the substrate? What was the ground material like in order to leave a footprint?
Right.
Was it had, like, you have to understand, it must have been,
was it a
something in the realm of sand where you could leave a footprint, or mud?
A marshy kind of area.
Yeah. What was that substrate looking like?
Yeah. And for it to be, so what was told to him by law enforcement, not searchers now you need to be, if y'all have those, I can pull them up. If we don't, I need to, maybe. Let me pull them up. But be very careful when you read things and listen. Make sure between searchers and law enforcement, because if law enforcement's telling him this, it's a little bit different.
Correct.
Right. So he says that law enforcement told him that, the scent had to have been from in between, because the prints weren't actually alerted on until the 19th of June.
4 days later.
4 days later. And the scent was still there. So
that's it. There you go. 4 days later, her scent was still strong enough to be picked up by a dog.
Yeah.
There you go.
But,
so that,
you're in an area also where her
but,
scent was.
Right. I mean, that in theory could mean that the scent on the driveway could have also been 4 days old.
Right.
Theoretically.
But her scent isn't as, she shouldn't have been
over there.
Out there. Her scent ain't there a lot. It's, maybe at the house and
Right.
And I've looked into him very thoroughly. He had no ties to them. He has nothing, knows nothing.
Other than just his property butting up to the wells.
Right, and it's not even, it ain't even button. Like, it's pretty, you see where it says pretty far.
Right. Well, I mean, it's in terms of sharing a property line.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't even, I need to get that outline. I have it. I actually have the whole area in LiDAR.
What does that mean? Where the boundaries are colored?
Well, LiDAR shows you. LiDAR is so they have, it's technology, like when it takes a picture of everything, it takes the trees out, it takes everything out, but it sees through all that and gets the lay of the land, everything that's there. LiDAR can pick up if there's underground anything, all that. Pretty awesome. And somebody sent me that, and I have to. I'm trying to put something together with it. It's pretty good. I'll have that soon for people to see. Let me pull up these posts from him. Carry me through here. Talk about some. Look, I'm trying to think of what maybe something. Yeah.
They believed it was a fresh scent, according to Dave.
Yeah, Dave talks about these, man. He confirms these.
Yeah.
So
That's why they think she wandered off. No, I agree. But you've got, so the issue that you have is another thing that I've thought about is that if you find yourself carrying a child through the woods and you set her down somewhere on a substrate that could leave a footprint, would that not also suggest that the perpetrator would also have left footprints as well?
Right.
And left footprints between Summer's footprints, right?
Yeah.
You would have had whatever footing attire that this person had on would have also left tracks in the same substrate that Summer's little, because you also got to understand, Summer at that time weighed about 40 pounds.
But that's what they're talking about, though. They're saying that search and rescue had been through there and trekked all through it so much before a dog even alerted. So they couldn't tell if there was, anything, if somebody was left prints or not. And they don't have that. They're searching for her scent, not anybody else's. You know what I mean? That's what makes it hard for me right there. That's what I was asking you a minute ago. Like him saying that they had tracked through there so much. Why could they not take, like, every one of them had been through there? Take your boot off. Look at the bottom of them. See if it matches up and if there's one that's different. I don't know. That's bothered me for a long time. I'm like, so why did he say that? What was the reason to come out with that? It's mind-boggling to me a little bit. Yeah, go ahead, man, with the answer. I'm still looking for. Sorry.
Okay. Why would someone running with a child set her down? They would keep moving.
It's hard to carry.
That's a good point. So then let's imagine that maybe the person carrying the child doesn't know the child and the child is struggling. We've
right.
Seen accounts that Summer is, strapping country girl. She's as tough as the boys. She runs fast. She's strong. So I think that there's other dynamics that could suggest a reason as to why potentially the child would have been sat down. Maybe you've got someone that isn't, physically able clearly to carry her without setting her down. They had to set her down and readjust. There could be many things. If Summer was sold and the buyer broke the contract, do you feel they would have given that up? I do. Especially with when you take into account Donald being whatever brand of forthcoming he was about the scenarios with his sisters as a youngster. You had that segue of what was seemingly looking like truth when it came to dynamics like that. And I believe that if I want to say that if it were a scenario like that and they knew who had her, they would just come forward with the information, take their lick and move forward.
Right.
But it doesn't seem so much like that anymore.
Right.
Yeah. We're at 56 weeks and 3 days now.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy. That was, let me, all right. Sorry. Got cats opening doors, kids running around.
Wake and Bake 420. Yes. JSB is friends with our RSOs in that area and RSOs from other areas. So
connections to many.
Yeah. I mean, she had connections to RSOs that don't have an address there. That you wouldn't be wrong if you ventured to thought that probably whatever financial situation Andy and Jody had there, some of that commerce had to do with RSOs coming over there and dealing with them.
Yeah. and going to, using the internet at Andy's mother's house. And
Yeah, absolutely.
she's,
Absolutely.
and people, the thing that you brought up about Gene wishing in the house on you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Gene Winston is a convicted, and it's for statutory, so that's
Correct.
underage, and
Correct.
they share a place with the same address. I don't know the years. I haven't dove into that one. Do you know?
Yes. Shoot. I mean, I don't know it right off the top
I
of my
mean,
head.
was it around the same time?
Yes, there was an
Oh, okay.
overlapping of Washawn, Bernard, and Brown of about what looked like a year or a little over a year. They would have had that mailing address. It would have been mirrored for all three of them. So it is an interesting dynamic because the year that it overlapped isn't the only year that she lived there. She lived there, or her mailing address was there for, I think, upwards of 24 months before it overlapped with Washawn.
Take this into consideration too, that she tried to say, I don't think this adds up, and Allie knows this, but she's working right now, but
yeah,
she tried to say that she knew when Don's mom passed away and all that, like she lived there. She didn't live there on 125 at that time.
No,
So
I'd suggest that during the time when Don's mother would have died, she would have been somewhere completely else.
right, and so why would you know what I mean? So why are you trying to say you were? Because
it's more of that weird
away.
People putting themselves on the scenes of things and places and times that after we feather it all out, they realize, I actually don't want to say I was there.
Yeah. Well, I would say this, and this is the only thing I'm going to reference from her. So I was watching before this the live she was doing, and I'm just this is weird, man. She's trying to say, because in Killer Looks Short, he said he called me fam. So she's thinking that's a big thing that he called me fam.
Oh, she thinks you guys are actually family.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jeez. Wow.
She's like,
hey, brother Cam.
and she's like, he ain't ever, Killer Looks has never referred to Benny as fam. I was like, yes, he has.
All the time. That's what we call each other as fam.
Killer. That's slang, Jody. So then she's saying that this morning she's saying that he is Green Eyes. So Killer Looks, if you watch this, she's saying that you are Green Eyes.
Yeah, I could tell you that definitively that he is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, for the most part, I feel pretty confident in the identification that people have made. That's not DJ, another name. Feel pretty confident that there's a certain few people who have actually identified who Green Eyes may potentially really be.
Yeah.
And it is not Killer Looks.
No, she was trying to say that she was saying that she had Green Eyes recording and saying that he said the same thing the way that Killer Looks said it, and that they were.
So what I think we were all also able to sort of figure out was that Jacobs at times in his verbiage really had, I won't say the name because it's derogatory, but had an accent that's specific to Louisiana. And you could hear it shine through. I've talked to the gentleman personally on the telephone.
Yeah.
Several times. And you can't, it's not like an actor who tries to, take on the New York accent or the Texas accent. It's a whole other thing to mix that South with that Creole and that French. And, it comes out to its own dialect. And that dialect is very, very hard. It's the lingo, the words, the tonalities. Killer does not have any of those. However, it is widely known that Killer resides in Louisiana. Yeah. But he has none of those same, there's none of the same vernacular. period.
Right. And you know, what she's trying to do is, this is weird to me too. Y'all take notice, out of all the people that are going at her in this, whenever and this is weird to me, and I would, you know, people are like, no, don't mention it. I am, because whenever the information, whoever look, I've done this to say, like, saying anything to her compared to a lot. And you know, when she's like boom, 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 she's hitting on somebody, pay attention. Pay attention to what that person's talking about. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
This is bother, you know, I don't know. You know, if just people get uncomfortable during things. I'm just saying, you know what? If people would tell the truth, if those people tell the truth, maybe it wouldn't have to be like this. You know,
No, it
people are going
wouldn't.
to dig. It's a child that's missing. People are going to dig. So, go ahead, Ben.
No, I was just seconding that. Like anyone who finds it comical, and there are more specifically a suspect or two throughout the course of this thing that found a lot of our interactions to be comical, or the things we were trying to bring forth. They found them very comical, and it's not really ever the platform. See, I remember living as a suspect or persons of interest at different times in my life. There's nothing comical about living that way. Every day, you're worried about the car. The next, I mean, we've seen Jody. Every time a car drives by, she's out that window thinking, "Oh, that's the one. That's my ride out of here."
Yes.
And she's not on the run, but in her mind, she's living like she's on the run. I can see it. There's no regard for the next statement. She's going to say things in the moment that are only specific to the moment, even if they completely negate anything she's ever said before and tried to relay it as factual. She's living life like someone on the run.
Yes. And them long pauses, I'll tell you what they are. Those long, long pauses, it's thinking very thoroughly what she's going to say next.
Yep. Gentlemen, us fellas, we may know, like, if we're caught in something and our women may ask us something, we hear it perfectly, but we go, huh? And then that gives they'll repeat the question again, and it's a typical man tactic.
Yeah, listen, and I watch. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, they'll repeat the question, giving you time while they're asking the question again to come up with your damn justifications.
Thinking it, and in result to that, I have something to add to that. Very good. I watched Carl and Mama the other night as they broke down the behavior panel.
Yeah.
With Don Wells' interview again. Oh, dude, I didn't know they did a good job with this.
Oh yeah.
Because I had not looked at it like this and paid attention. When Don says he can't hear is always when they ask something. Did you do this? A direct question. He couldn't hear him.
Right.
That opened my eyes up to a lot.
Yep.
You know, it's like you said, dudes. Huh? What?
Yeah. Huh? Can you repeat that? And that's going to give him time to make a split-second decision in the moment, in reference to an answer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's. I was like, that's concerning. And I don't know if you saw. It's been a long time because it's been months ago, dude. I put out a video. Like, you never say nothing about Don. You never say. I was like, oh, I don't. I was like, here's. It was a psychologist online saying how 5 questions that you can ask somebody to see if they're lying.
Absolutely.
And I compared that to Don being asked questions by Chris McDonough.
You need to watch some of these, and I don't need to tell you what you need to do, but I would invite you to watch some of these modules. Our team, we purchased the Steve Johnson modules, and that's why those women are so effective right now, because they've been studying the same things that we've been studying the same things Chris and Steve and all the guys over around by the body panel experts and all those folks. We've been studying the same modules that they go through in law enforcement training. So to be able to look at these things now with the new knowledge from these truth to lie modules is so powerful, Cam. Is so powerful.
I would have been a part of it, and y'all didn't give me no invite at the beginning.
Right, hey man, we'll get you a link today, and you can get over there and check them out. They're about between an hour and a half, and you just absorb a module and then take it to the YouTube street and start looking at stuff. And I promise you, man, it's like the things with the written statements. Like there's a really good module about written statements, spacing, where people lean on the pen harder,
Yep.
when they cross things out, what words, what pronouns are they dropping, what verbs are they replacing. It's all in the verbiage and the way that it's put together when it comes to the handwriting analysis, because when you have the handwriting analysis, what you have is the true cerebral leakage or brain leakage, when someone has that momentary disconnect between their hand and their mind. And when there's that momentary disconnect, that's when you'll see things on the paper that will suggest to you through the modules that theoretically there is this behavior going on right now.
Right. Yeah, I'm down. I was like, I jumped all over Adrian. I was like, yeah, okay, I see how it is when y'all first start. I said, y'all didn't even give me an invite. I did, but I didn't. I was like, okay, all right.
I go back over them with you and watch them and go through them again. They're so powerful, and they're like a good movie.
Yeah.
You go back and watch them, and you're gonna pick something up again. I've watched many of the modules more than once.
I'm searching for a video real quick to show y'all. It's short, so it won't.
Yes, Heels. The modules have been created by Mr. Steve Johnson at Truth to Lies. That guy is sharp, and I'm here to say now, there were a few times where there seemingly was, in my opinion, it didn't seem like it was probable, some of the things he was saying.
Yeah.
It's because I was uneducated. There was no way I could even try to grasp what he was saying. And in my finite understanding, I belittled the situation, which is what unintelligent people do when they're not smart about a situation. Now, no, you're right, Susan Cooper. In my opinion, behavioral panel, they are a team of guys, and a lot of times they have conflicting opinions, which makes it interesting to look at. But when you look at Steve Johnson and his LE background, like, that man closed cases of all sorts. So what that leads you to believe is that this truth to lie moduling doesn't just work for one type of crime. It works for any time you want to know if someone's lying to you.
This is the issue I have with the behavior panel. This is the thing I struggle with.
Cerebral. Sorry.
You're good. The one thing I struggle with that is them dudes are, their credentials are, they are up there, trained by the military, trained by CIA and FBI. I'm like, dude, would they put their career on the line for Donald Wells? I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. And that was the same kind of dynamic that was made very. I became very aware of it early on when you had all this stuff with. There was a creator that brought out some CPS stuff, and you're like, okay, hold on. Theoretically, we understand in the world that police leaks, CPS leaks, all these leaks do happen, on in a regular, on a regular stage, but this is different, and
very different.
Yeah, this is way different, and that, in my opinion, that if you had professional, whether it be DCFHS or whatever they call it, CPS or law enforcement, people be losing their jobs behind this, and people are not going to put their careers, their financial stabilities, their children's stabilities, and all that on making sure YouTube gets the right info.
Very true.
They're not going to do that, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, this is weird, man. Like, all my videos are not where they're supposed to be, and it's.
Is it on an iPad or Android?
No, I'm on my computer, man.
Oh, okay. Is it a Windows?
Yeah.
Ah.
And I'm looking at on my YouTube page. Like, why I can't find that? It's
a lot of things I've been seeing are like that. Like, I'll see somebody's video, in the feed, but then when I go over to their channel to look for it, I can't see it. It is weird. There's something going on with the tube right now.
Dude, bro, it's gone.
It's not there anymore?
No. And that's like...
Let me see if I can find it from my side. What's the name of the video on your channel you're looking for?
It's just a video, and I break down. It's something. Oh, I found it. Never mind. How to tell the truth.
Okay, cool.
How to tell if you're being lied to. I swear I went through this thing 40 times, and it's right there. Maybe it's just me, man. I need to take another day off. All right, let me get ready to share this. And guys, we're going to go over these screenshots right here in a second. But I promise you will find this interesting right here. Talking about the behavior. Hold on. Pull this up and share it real quick. Y'all, man, there was 1,057 people in here. We don't ask you for anything. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. That's all I asked for. If you don't, hit the thumbs down. I don't care. Just show something. Appreciate it. All right. I don't know if you've even seen this, Benny. I made this a long time ago, and it's rang true to me a little bit here. So here we go. I'm gonna full screen it, and I'll mute out, and you might want to mute out.
Whoa.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Behavioral Arts, and in this short video, I'm going to teach you 3 types of questions that will allow you to get the truth out of anyone in any situation. These are techniques that are used by interrogators and interviewers on the highest level of interrogation, and they work wonders. And I'm going to teach you how to adapt it to your day-to-day life. That way, nobody can hide things from you, and you have a much better chance of extracting the truth out of anyone in any interaction. The first type of question is called the punishment question, and it's based on the simple fact that psychologically, we have a hard time distancing ourselves from actions or activities that involve us directly. Now, this is a technique that interrogators use, but you can use this for any context where something was done and you need to figure out who it was and no one's speaking up. So as a parent, I've been told this is extremely useful. I've taught this to teachers who have said it's really useful. But if you're the CEO of a company or a manager, this will really, really help you narrow down your search. So basically, the question is the same question always. And the wording is this: when we figure out who did this, what do you think the consequence should be? Consequence, punishment, whatever you're more comfortable with. So first of all, look at the way this is formulated. It's not if we find out, it's when we find out. So it puts in the person's head that we are going to find out who this is. What should the consequence be? After we ask the punishment question, we're listening carefully for 2 things. One is the severity of the punishment that they recommend, and 2 is the pronouns that they use. So let's start with the first one. Someone who did not commit this crime.
Like, Don, what do you think should happen to somebody that's done
what
this?
The punishment is. It's not going to happen to them.
Do what?
It's like asking, essentially what this is asking Don, hey, Don, what do you think? And Chris did this. Don,
well, wait,
Candace,
that's what I'm getting ready to show. It's getting
Okay.
ready to I clipped all that. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, my bad.
So let's say someone stole from work and you ask the person what the punishment should be. They're going to recommend things like getting fired, criminal prosecution. But let's say, something less severe, like at home or at school. They might recommend being grounded for a week. They might recommend like heavy punishments that they would not enjoy at all, because in their head, it's not going to happen to them. On the other hand, someone who's guilty of whatever the activity is likely to have punishments that are much lighter, because in their head, you've just said, when we find out, so in their head, there's a scenario where they're going to get caught. So they're going to recommend things that really aren't that severe. In most cases, when the punishment is really, really intuitively not severe at all, either the person did it themselves or they're protecting someone
country
who did. So either way, they have information. The second thing we're listening for is pronouns. Now, this won't always happen, but when it does, it's a really, really good clue. Again, it's because their mind is either connected to the activity or it's not. So when you get that severe punishment from someone who didn't do it, you're often going to hear third person pronouns. Something like, oh,
Correct.
they should be fired.
They,
oh, he should
they,
be grounded for a week. Things like that. Someone who's guilty, on the other hand, may not be able to psychologically disconnect from the activity. And you might hear something like, listen, people make mistakes. I know I wouldn't want to go to jail for this. Or, listen, everyone makes mistakes. I know I wouldn't want to be grounded for a week. So when you hear that I, like they're applying the punishment to them, that's a really, really good clue that they might be the guilty party.
All right,
That's
guys.
powerful.
I hope you paid attention to what we just showed. That information is very good. So what we're going to do next is we're going to compare what Don Wells said. Now, when he was asked the same questions about when they find out what happened, what do you think the person responsible, what do you think the penalty should be? What do you think should happen to them? It's going to blow your mind when you hear this. And this should be for everybody that says that I don't say anything against the Wells, because it's very, very untruthful. We've been calling Candace out on continuous lies over the past few weeks. And, you know,
this was recorded back in January.
It really made me think
I
about
think
some
January.
things. This man says, if you are responsible of doing something wrong and somebody asks you when, you got to push the fact that it will be solved. And when they find out who.
So yeah, I was skipped. They're just saying he's putting the emphasis when we find it out, not when we find out. So let me,
or not if, right?
Or yeah, not if, when, because you're gonna, that puts
a finality to it at some point.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. So you better, let me know. All right, so let me see where. Here it is. Make sure I didn't miss it. I love this new thing they added on the bar right there at the bottom, so you can see every clip of it.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Oh, come on, man.
So here's another question that comes to my mind. In your heart of hearts, what do you want to happen to the person that did this?
I'm afraid if I run into them, it's not going to be good.
Can you walk me through?
I'm not a violent person at all. But when I see somebody hurt a little kid or something, I can't help myself. I don't know what it is. Something just triggers in me. If I see someone being cruel to, and it don't have to be my kid. It can be anybody's kid. I see somebody being cruel to an animal, I tend to flip.
Thank you, Tracy.
I don't mean to. You got to understand that.
Yeah.
So,
So what do you think should happen? What do you think should happen?
I have to leave it to God.
There you go.
I know what prison's like. And
he's putting it on himself. He knows what prison's like, Cam.
You're lucky if you get out of there alive.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So would you want to see this person in prison?
He's also like.
I don't know if I could do that.
He doesn't know if he could do that to himself.
It just depends.
They said it's echoing because we're not muted. Hold on.
What if it was an accident?
Well, that's different, and accidents happen,
Right. And could this have been an accident?
This is strange right here.
I have no idea. I know if Candace, had an accident or something, she'd call the authorities right away.
Right.
I know that. She's not devious like that.
That suggests she didn't call the police right away, bro.
She wants to be a good person.
Big deal right here.
John, I told you the first time.
You're muted, Benny. I muted you. Sorry. Me unmute you.
No worries. That's
Dude.
that. I forgot about that until you was playing it, and then it just came. That recall came right back. Like that was quintessential right there. Dude refused. Now this is the interesting point, Cam. This is he couldn't put prison on somebody who had, in his ideology, snatched his daughter, but then later on down the road, he would do things like put his name in the live streams as better hope God gets you before I do.
Yeah.
It's a complete change.
Yes.
Right? So before he couldn't put whoever it was in prison. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. You just heard him. Then later on down the road, it was that I'll KILL that person, or they better hope I get to him before God. Or, better hope God gets to him first, whatever. That is a complete change. It's 180 from that. I couldn't put somebody in prison stuff.
Exactly. And I was trying to see if I could find the date of when I made that, dude. I caught that early on. I was like, and when I watched that dude Spidey right there, he's good.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, I remembered that when Don answered that, and I was like, whoa.
Not good.
And then when they broke that interview on the behavior panel down, like when Don answered that one question, that he said when they first asked him, they said, did you do anything, or do you know what happened to your daughter? He says, excuse me, sir. And then he sits back and says, no, I didn't. And then he goes, and shake under his breath.
Yeah.
I'd not caught that before, and I'm sure they did. I don't know. Okay.
He had a little bit of a verbal tick. He had some ticks and different things where you might be talking to him and he might answer a question one way or the other, but then have that. That's also kind of like Chris M. I think people that do a lot of talking, public talking, they have a tendency to pick up ticks. And Chris M, he has one where he's what is his tick actually? It's something he says after I know, or or something. But I even find that I get ticks sometimes. I'll say things. I'll say the same word over and over and over. It's just because it's there. It's on the front. It describes what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's a tick. It's actually a tick. So I have to. Yeah, we can hear you.
But it kicked everything just stopped, and my camera and everything kicked me out. That's weird.
You run a VPN? I know you said you run with Silver Shark or whatever.
Surfshark, dude.
Surfshark.
I run a VPN constantly on everything. Dude, this is weird to me, man. Anyway, let me see what camera it's. Well, it's not even. Well, hold on a second.
Is it your auxiliary camera or the camera in the device?
Yeah, this is my camera. It's my 4K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what's going, and it's like completely got a green screen on it.
Whoa.
My camera, and it don't have that. And it's not turning off. Like what the hell?
Is there like a hard reset, or maybe take the battery out?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's probably what's going to have to happen. That's weird. I'm just not going to use that right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just check. Finish. Let me reset this camera to the one on my. Okay. Yeah. So there's that. Let's. We'll get back to this connection now. I'm wondering if my mic is the mic it's picking up. Either way. Okay. So. Yeah, no, I don't know who said what. So I think Cam's computer's on its way. I don't think it's the video card, because it's like this thing's a beast, man, and it's done good. I don't know. All right, so let me pull this up for this connection. Now I had this I was sharing, I believe. We're going to go over the screenshots of this. Now the connections after this is going to. It goes all the way to, we have a connection through the Mox. The Mox also is Sherfy's wife or girlfriend's name through marriage. So it's not like Mary Sexton's, her mother's maiden name. It's through marriage. Now, the trailer where Penny showed that Don's mom used to live in. Okay, you know who the former owners of that is?
I do, but I don't have it right on the tip of my tongue.
It's mocks.
Okay.
So that brings the mocks into, that's a long time ago. That brings the mocks into the goads. That's just something to be aware.
Wasn't that trailer also CNC property?
I thought so.
It wasn't, though, was it?
I thought so, and either it was bought out underneath the mocks, or they sold it to them, or either they're the owners of it, of the trucking. Now we know Billy Dishner. Billy Dishner's that, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Billy Dishner's property is the one right beside Mary Sexton's property where the campsite was found.
Yeah.
Big deal there to me. I don't so, and I don't know if that was taken. I mean, just the way you did a very good job on when I was on your live the other night. We were talking, and I was talking. You were showing your map, and that campsite shows right down. It's higher elevation, right down. So the wear and tear on that campsite. When I showed it to a former investigator, said that has to be from at least 4 to 5 months prior. And this was in November, beginning of November last year when that was found. So 4 to 5 months prior. And I was like, for real? And he's like, yeah, look at
which puts it back in the summer, quite naturally.
Yeah. Or maybe even before the foliage is thick.
Yeah. He just knows it's not 4 months or newer. It's from 4 or 5 months or back.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting sick, dude. I've been coughing and nose is running. Let me see. Okay, so this is the big part I want. So we got the McLeans. You know the Mock's name. Listed as a foreman for the tree companies that was out there that day. It's a Mock, okay? Or no, I'm sorry, it's a McLean. So that when Don points the finger at Jerry McLean, it's now the connection. I'm gonna tell you it's very close to him. The dude's a foreman for one of the tree companies that was out there that day. Also, now we connected this even through Facebook that his friend, so the McLean is through his friend, is John Mock also. And John Mock, so we have the McLeans connected to the Mocks, and then they, and it's not like far away Mocks, it's these Mocks that we're talking about. They are even the people that were there and companies that were cutting the trees are connected to right here in this area. This all starts with John Allen Biggins, who is then, people are just coming in. This is hard to keep up.
So would that stand to reason that there could be a possibility that any number or one or a number of the tree cutters Jody Sue may have known potentially? I mean, you can't rule that out, right?
You can't.
You cannot.
You can't. And there's connections to her too, and through these people. And this is a lie. And we're gonna do the whiteboard. We're gonna have to get together in the background one day and do something and throw all these up. Yeah, we're gonna do that because I've got to unload this so we can all write it down. All right. This one right here. Let me see right here. This is the one I had to. I just now, y'all give me a break on some of this. I just got this right before we went on. Okay, so, and this one goes back. So you have McLean's that live on Beach Creek Road as well. The person that sent this to me, she said, sorry, this is such a cluster, but she says, okay, we go back to the beginning, to John Allen Biggins, and then her or his mother's name is Gully. That connects him to another RSO, Zach Gully. There's two of them there. Zach Gully is where this starts going into.
You're muted, Cam. Okay. It's the Crack and Benny show. Okay, where are we at? Dudley is now in Weber City, Virginia.
Yeah, sorry,
That's
guys.
interesting. Nope,
Y'all
we
see
got
that?
you.
Kick me back. That's weird.
Yep. Did you see this? He says that. Oh wait, no, sorry.
Okay, so yeah, Weber City. That's how that
Yeah.
Dudley is connected to. So the Trents go back. Carlie's dad is connected. Now I have to go back to the beginning because I've moved forward so fast that I'm forgetting stuff. If y'all haven't caught those other lives, please go back and walk your way through them. It's hard work to get this all together, and it's hard for me to remember mentally. So I'm trying to keep up with the people giving it to me, my research as well into it, and writing it down and having. So we're working on that, guys. But I want to bring it to you quick because I think it's urgency that we might be getting to something that could result in maybe some answers. I feel like there's something there. I don't know. It might not be, and I might just be. But I mean, if y'all don't see it, I don't know how else to put it to you. I think I think this might go somewhere.
If they're not connected, I would say that you've done a very thorough job in scouring.
Thank you.
So much so that you have found people that have connections to both areas, but seemingly aren't even casually connected.
Right, and that's what's I this is what I feel. Okay, so through this, man, these connections of people, there are too many RSOs. There's a reason. Look, I just showed you on your show the TJ Bernard guy that gets caught in Beach Creek with all these drugs. Sheriff Lawson is saying there's no drugs there. Why? And I'm scared to put out a lot there. Okay, so I'm just.
He said that Holler's no different than anywhere else. He said, I understand there's a little traffic, but he refused to even make Ben Hill a hot spot,
Yes. And TBI on their press conference, when they did not back up, so when Ansley Daniels asked them during that press conference, she says, "Are the parents cooperating? Can you speak?" She said, "We're not going to characterize what cooperation is." She didn't back them up at all. That concerned me. She confirmed it. And I was like,
so it is to characterize cooperation is a dual-edged sword. It's a very slippery slope because you have the right as an American citizen to plead the fifth, which is answer no questions. But while you're doing that as your right, it isn't rewarded by the police when they talk about when they characterize your cooperation. Your right also is uncooperative to the police when they need information. So
but you would think if that was a no question and they're not cooperating, the TBI would bet you. I feel like that's a yes or no. Yes, they are. Or no, they're not.
Right, and I think also you got to give them a little real estate because depending on now at the time when Lawson made that statement, the parental unit was split. Don was in confinement and Candace was on the street. So there really wasn't any detailed context as to was it both parent. Well, I mean, I guess he said the parents, right? But
yes,
to give them some real estate, I could also see a scenario that if Don and Candace weren't involved, and let's say theoretically they came to question Candace again, and she's like, "Listen, I don't know what else I can tell you. I don't have anything more to say. I've told you everything I know." That could be accepted and received as being incooperative or uncooperative.
Right.
So I can, you have to, I think at this point in the game, I feel like I've started to have some epiphanies again. And it is that thing, right? You cannot characterize cooperation really because people that understand that when Lawson says they're not being cooperative, what that could actually mean is they've invoked their Fifth Amendment right, which is their right.
But Lawson also said they had attorneys, and then they tried to say that it bleeds over. And I know
I
It
talked.
does.
I talked. Well, I talked to a. I played the recording of a guardian ad litem
Hmm.
attorney, and I was like, so when they give the children guardian ad litem, they court appoint the guardian ad litem. They are for the best interest of the children. They ain't going to help the
Correct.
parents, right? He was like, in most cases, he said most cases, no, they will not.
Right. In most cases, correct.
Yeah, but he also said, this is what got me. And he's like, so I was like, how would a guardian ad litem, would they tell a parent to not cooperate with law enforcement? He's like, that would be a first. So,
You mean the guardian ad litem, they handle a host of different tasks, all the way from child support agreements on up. So,
but the parents would have to then have their own attorneys for that.
correct. Which those attorneys would be in the best interest of, I would say first would be their client, Don or Candace, respectively. Yeah. And then the family reunification as a whole, right? Anytime that you have an issue where your counsel isn't making your best interest A1, then you always have that right to come back at a later date and say, I feel I had ineffective counsel.
Yes.
Then you have a whole slew of new stuff going on.
This is what I've said from the beginning. There is no way an attorney could defend them because of how they were talking. That, and correct. They therefore would have to be like, I can ineffectively provide you I cannot do it. Can't give you
correct.
Counsel. You run your mouth.
You've already laid out to the general public. The general public at large, and we understand that there's a large viewership in Tennessee alone that is monitoring this. And I'm not going to suggest that they're monitoring it here on YouTube.
Yeah.
But many people that could potentially be called as jurors in Hawkins County, if it ever stayed there, or all of Tennessee, in my opinion as well, there's a lot of people that have already passed judgment on the wells.
Right.
And when you have a platform like YouTube where the wells did come here, make statements, and then refute them later on, it is a virtual gold mine here for a prosecutor.
Right.
It would be.
But you would also think that an up and coming attorney would, that they would take that case pro bono, but there's no charges. There's nothing yet.
No, there isn't. You're right. But at the same time, I think that the pro bono aspect, I understand and I agree. I think that there is a hotshot young lawyer out there that would do that, maybe not understanding the ramifications of associating yourself to the wells. I still every day, and I know you and Allie as well, if you had any intimate dealings with Don and Candace or private dealings, you still have a mar on you. And so
go ahead.
There's so many crazy dynamics that will come into representing the wells if they should ever be brought up on charges.
Right. So, and this, oh God, I just lost my thought. Golly, come on, Ken. Trying to think
I mean, it's a lot swirling around right here, it's so many things to just grab a hold to and talk about.
This was, this is weird to me too. And I don't know how, like you just said, if you have any kind of dealings or private, we've talked to them off camera and all that stuff. Did you ever want, and for the people that were investigating everything, did you ever once hear anything of an attorney? Because I didn't. And that bothered me.
I knew that there was family law representation. And I think that, those things I think could leak into one another in the way that, that I believe that a family attorney, if asked a question by their client that had to do with their family, I do believe that in certain circumstances that they would be given not representation on the matter,
Because you can't. 'Cause there's no charge.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. But just advice on how to maneuver your day-to-day dealings with the media and YouTube
But would a court appointed
and the police?
Since you know how court appointed, and I'm sorry, guys, that we're talking. We're kind of talking about this too, but I think it's important. But you know, a court appointed attorney usually has the state's best interest in mind.
Correct.
Would they
when you deal with family law, the family law aspect is reunification.
Yeah, exactly. But
right. Whereas the criminal law is to put somebody in jail or make somebody punitive to the state where they have to pay, whether with their freedom or with their check every month, whatever it is.
Yes.
I think that with the dynamic of family law and the ideal of, the mission statement is reunification almost to a fault. I think you would get some of that. Now, you also have to understand that with the things that you and many other bright, brilliant minds in the community have been able to uncover about Hawkins County politics, I think it's very plausible when you think of it in terms of the way we see some of Hawkins County municipality behave, that there could be a very real leakage,
But I wasn't speaking about as far. Oh my gosh, my mom, huh? Phone ring. I wasn't as far. I believe that too as far as leakage. But I'm saying, a court-appointed attorney, would they ever advise their interest is the state? Would they would advise people to not be cooperative? The Wells to not be cooperative with police. That's what bothers me. I don't know. I agree. Weird. I guess. But
you also see all of these funding issues in Hawkins County.
Yes.
Right. You have illegal stipends. You got all sorts of things going on with the funding there, and you have one going on now with the Advocacy Center in Churchill Search and Rescue.
Yeah.
It's you see almost an environment where you have municipalities under one umbrella, all battling for $1. Like that 74,000 or whatever it is. It's an awful lot, and it's enough for municipalities to bang each other for. It looks like.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
okay, we'll get back to this. I don't know why that quit sharing just now. It's crazy. It keeps doing it. Anyway, so Fizzle was talking before I had it up on here. Y'all remember the name Billy? So Billy Arnold was allegedly the drunk that Hunter was talking about and Allie was talking about that stayed in a shed on the property. Check this out. So Billy Arnold is a mock. Dude.
Oh, man.
He is a mock, too. So
you know what it starts to look like? It starts to look like that once we find out whoever knows the know, you're going to uncover that there's maybe everyone. Now, it's not an all or nothing statement, but, generically, everyone could know about what's going on. They're not going to say anything.
Right.
Nobody know nothing. Nobody saw nothing. Nobody heard nothing. It's like that holler in that area is some foreign land that's not Tennessee, because you made mention the other day about how different the scope of the Trent case was and how they wanted information and this, that, and the third. With this case, like, they don't want it like that, or seemingly have portrayed that there's some sort of disassociative block between law enforcement and taking tips.
Right. And so this is my argument here. If it wasn't for Biggins, we would know nothing of this. Mocks, and the reason it bothers me is because RSO to RSO to accused RSO that hasn't been convicted yet, Sherfy Jr., which is right there to the mocks. This is in.
Is Biggins incarcerated right now, or is he on bond?
He was dude. Who? Biggins?
Biggins, is he?
I have no idea. I didn't speak about it. I've tried to look it up, but I don't know where they're holding him, and where it's a federal thing, you ain't finding it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, unless he gets back on the street and hits a YouTube or a Facebook near you somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. And so this too is like we think about nobody. It is a very, very hard. I don't believe in just stranger, a possibility of stranger abduction. But
It's
what I do
so
believe,
low,
yes,
the possibility.
what I do believe though is when we say somebody who knew the property, knew that now we have mocks staying in sheds on the property. We have mocks living right behind it. We have tree company mocks.
Owned by Mox.
You have people that know the layout 100%. You have, you have, if there is some kind of ring, if there is something like that, you have Jody Sue, who is connected to Frank Light, who Frank Light is connected to Daniel Sherfy. This web is big, and it's all, and what better, hypothetically, what better family to target than the Wells right across the road? Hey, they don't watch their kids. Hey, they're always in the. We have Sherfy Senior. Hey, they're always in the road down there unattended. And he made sure to say, including Summer.
Including, yeah, putting her in there too.
Yeah, he said I had to get out and move them out of the road.
That seems a little extreme, but I get what he means. Like he's probably just stressing that he sees them in the road a lot. Yeah.
But then he's he puts this out there, but first of all says they're not, I don't know nothing about them. I don't know nothing. But then you say your son, he hasn't been down there, but he hadn't been down here since late 2020, early 2021. Dude, I'm sorry. Your girlfriend is the only one defending him on the police's post.
Correct.
Of his arrest and the bust. People make mistakes. He's a real good guy. He's this. I was like, what? Your mother and father ain't even. She's over here.
I mean, like a mistake is like, I don't know, breaking a glass when you're doing dishes. That's a mistake. Spilling your drink, dropping your food, like to put those sorts of CP materials on a public forum where other children could run into them. Holy schmoly, man. That's not a mistake.
Right. And this dude, man, this is another thing. I'm going to probably leave it at this unless y'all want to hear the footprints thing. I've tried. I don't usually try to go this long. We're right at 2 hours, but excuse me. But okay. So this is what help me right here. What did I say? What did I say? Where were we at?
Mox.
Okay, Mox. Yeah. Okay. So what? This is my argument, and this is where why would he, Sherfy Senior, come make himself known? That's out of everybody that lives back there, he comes to be the spokesperson with so-called. Why are you over in that graveyard? That's disrespectful. That's where my family's buried, he says, or something. And we have my mom, I can't remember exactly, but he makes himself out of all those people out there. Jody Sue, in her messages to me, which I found, this is crazy right here. Let me pull this up real quick because this is very big, and I'm going to. She makes claim to this is right around the same time I spoke to her October and the 2 times, and then we got on Tiffany Marie's panel, and I said I am not. And this make note of this, everybody. When I spoke with Jody Sue on Tiffany Marie's panel live, I told her we have nothing to do. We're not messing with you. I don't have the time of day to send people or even go drive by your house or terrorize you. She didn't even she was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Was not invited me to come talk. Next time you're down here, come by the house and talk to Boog. That's what she says. I was like, and we hadn't even been involved in this. When did we come in? In July?
Yeah.
August, July. She says for a year they've been doing this, and come on, man. We hadn't even been involved in this a year, and I didn't talk to you till October on Messenger very briefly.
It certainly felt like there was. So when Sherfy initially got out, his complaint was that there was older folks around the area, and that this was bothersome, this, that, or the third. But then he started to relinquish all this information. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And to me, it didn't initially jump out as one thing or another, but as I looked at it over and over and over, it was like, it felt like this dude was, it was a defensive maneuver, but it was also preemptive, offensive. It was him jumping out in front of his son, so to speak.
Yes, and this leads to that right here, and I just caught something. This was in December 2nd. That happened December the 9th. Or the 10th when we were all out there.
Yep.
That happened December 10th. This is when she says, December 2nd. She's probably, go ahead and erase them, Juice. Allison's got them screenshot. I will tell you, cops did tell me long before that neighbor went public that those footprints were bullshit. In far less words, she says. But
this is the mayor, sir?
This is the mayor here.
So now to you, she's saying the footprints are BS.
That's what she's starting. Now listen to this. But she says, but it seemed maybe like misdirection. She's laying. I didn't say nothing in between that.
Whoa. So she lays it out there, but then covertly covers it. But like, well, it could be a tactic.
Yes. Did she? And I said,
she's sneaky like that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Answer me this, Cam. What was the interval between her two messages? Was it very quick, or did it suggest that she reread it and was like, ooh, no, I got to change that and make it seem like that could go either way? What was the time between?
There wasn't even, it wasn't even a minute.
Okay. So she quickly did it.
Quickly. And then she says, okay. Hold on, let's go back right here where it says, now Chase is supposed wanting me to stay offline until next Friday, but yeah, TCC is pushing me to go live tonight. Bizarre. Way just like the other night. Hold on. And why Chase supposedly wants me offline until next Friday makes no sense. And it has to do with Candace Sr. and shit. I know is a lie on TCC's part. And then she goes, I agree with you on every part of that. Hold on. This is where it gets big. This is at the same time that Sherfy comes and says people are making noise. Now this is bullshit out of everybody I know, and I'm going to use it straight bullshit. What she tells me here. Sheriff's her chasing, and she says, this is somebody about a child. My poor ex-neighbor vet with cancer, the kid's cousin with severe cerebral palsy, who has extreme life-threatening seizures, especially with loud noise, just pisses me off. She's telling me this about protesters. There's nobody down there, I believe, that has all this. No. Then he's down there. The kid, my mother-in-law has heart problems. They were trying to push people. He made his known. He says he don't know her, but yet his girlfriend Mock is posting under Polly Bernard's stuff, talking away on the 15th of June. These people are putting their stuff out, and I told you on your live that his girlfriend Mock stopped on the road that she didn't even know this person or vehicle, and rolled and said those people are bare guilty. He's saying I have inside information, but you ain't worked there.
No.
The prints,
all fallacy
up there. Billy Arnold's, his name's mentioned for some reason. That was weird how they threw that in there. They're talking about a guy with the name A. Chris McDonough says this, then she goes, "Oh, you got Billy, whatever, the drunk." No, oh no, he stays in. Why? How do you know about that?
Yeah. You either hear the whisper from other people talking, or directly. It's only one or the other. That's it.
I mean, y'all in the chat, throw me a 1. At least throw me something. Show me that y'all are following me. Because I don't know. I don't know how else to feel this way. And it all leads to this dude who's trying to meet up with a 4-year-old. He's already admitted to having, hurting another child previously. Says it in the same. You got Zach Gully, who says Hawkins County child SA'er. Young dude too. Yeah, I don't know. This is what I got for you. I'm working hard. I'm gonna have more for you. So yeah, this is what I got. Benny, what do you think, dude?
It's great work. I mean, it's connections, and now now the only thing left is to try to boil it down and to see what to try to see what's actual and concrete.
Yeah, and like I said, like we've all said, we're not saying guilt. We're laying out. I'm just laying out what it is, who these people are. I'm not putting their names out there, their first names, because that's not needed. They have no. I'm just telling the last names are there. We're talking about the people now. The names that were mentioned are people that the finger was pointed at them, or has very close connection with like a spouse or something.
Right.
I don't know. This is what I got. Thank you. Who said what? She says to help update your studio. My ass. I'm just playing. It's not me, dude. It's good stuff. I just bought it.
It's just linking it all together, and sometimes things don't jive just right, and there'll be little bugs.
I can tell her that, dude. Yeah. I know. Yeah, no, I appreciate you, Benny. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me up, man. I'll move on with my day, and man, that's super strong stuff. And now
if it ain't nothing, man. It ain't activate. Nothing. Tell me, dude. That's one thing I was going to add. Somebody early on said, I think everybody needs to take a break from the case. This is the way I look at it. Summer ain't getting no breaks.
No,
she's out there.
Hasn't been a break, not one day yet.
Not one day yet. We ain't going to take a break. I'm not taking a break till there's something. I'll work we made a promise, dude. Only 2 hours. And that was, to Summer. Whatever, man, we said we're not going to give up. I mean, right. I have a child, and that's what drives me. My child right there, Yeah. So, thank you, Karen Canada.
Well, thank you for having me, sir.
Yeah, man.
I'll check y'all later.
All right, see you, brother. Y'all, thanks. I appreciate Benny coming up and us having a being able to go back and forth with it. Harsh reality. If he's watching the other day, that was a good dialogue, man. We had a good thing coming. Sorry if I talked a lot. I just had a lot on my mind trying to convey. I like the way that you put things out there. I like the way you explain them. Lets people think. Thank you, Karen Canada. I won't say that to you. I appreciate it. Who said what knows I'm playing. Look, this is just giving y'all something to think about. Thank y'all for your support. Thank y'all for dealing with me through all my problems up here with all my connections. Y'all been awesome. Wow, Sage Sleuth. Thank you for adding. I'm sorry if I haven't been very active with the chat. I have to try. Y'all know my ADHD. I can't focus here, and there, and I still have issues. Let me see what else. Emily Flotilla, alternate. Y'all. Look, I do. I need to get it. I need to get another one.
My little boy back there, he just is taking a nap. Did y'all hear that? Shoo. Thank you, Jackie Jude. Thank y'all, guys. Y'all been very quiet over there. Thank y'all. My little boy taking a nap. He rolled over and said, "Brr," farted. Thank you, Kaz. Y'all clip that. All them people do the clip channels, y'all clip that. That'd be funny. I ain't sold yet, but y'all keep on thinking, hey, Mr. Smith, hey, that's why I said I ain't trying to sell you nothing. I ain't trying to put you out. I'm just putting it out there. Many rabbit holes went down, and there's nothing there. This one just keeps going and keeps unfolding. It's a lot. Look, I will have a better visual for you. Hopefully, this green screen, everything. I had the camera. I look, man. I've invested in better stuff to make this good for y'all. Thank you, Curious AF. Thank y'all. I wanted to see some of y'all's thoughts. I'm trying to engage with y'all right now. 990 people still in here. 977 is dropping. Thank y'all. Hit that thumbs up for me. Look, we're gonna. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Man, that's a lot. Hey, look, that's a lot of people support. I appreciate that. That was a truth fart. It was. Shit, Jackie just I call BS. You farted. You tooted. That wasn't me for real. I claim that one. It sounded like a trumpet back there. Let us pray. We will pray. But I got to engage with y'all, man. Some people like, that's right, Glitter. I believe that. I do believe that. Hey, look, I do, Breeze. I've backed everything up on thumb drives. I have a lot of them. I've been working hard on doing this the right way. Thank you, Sherry Weeks. Let's see what else. Anybody else? I like to talk to y'all. I like to have my full focus on what y'all have to say. If it wasn't for y'all, wouldn't be us. We couldn't do this if it wasn't for y'all. Nobody. So we appreciate that. Cam, check text. Someone said to check a news story. Okay, thank you, Music City Mom. I will. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to check my text. See there, you can hear my kids moving around on the bed there.
Yeah, I'm just laying here.
Yeah, they heard you there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm laying here and I'm tired.
It's okay. They heard you fart.
No, I never fart.
Yeah.
No,
In your sleep you did, sir.
No, I never farted.
Oh, okay. Okay, guys, so let me see if there's anything that... Hold on one second. Closing.
Okay.
All right, I'm closing this out. I got to get we're gonna probably have we had a lunch. We'll eat another one here in a minute. I know they're hungry. I like spend. It's a rainy day out here. Are you going to be going on any other panels, Cam? I don't know. If they invite me, maybe I will. He said no. That was you? No, I swear on mate. Unless it was my little girl. Was that you, Rain?
What?
Did you do the toot?
No.
Well, okay.
Guys, stop.
All right, I'm done.
My legs are gonna hit you.
Y'all don't argue. Let's get off here. We're gonna pray, and we're gonna roll out. Okay. What'd you say? The gloves? What? Somebody said something about the gloves.
Daddy, please wear my feet.
Okay, guys, y'all don't argue right now. I'm gonna get done with this. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's pray and get out of here. Dear Lord, thank you for everything you do. We ask that you bring answers to this case. Let us do our due diligence. Let us, if we're not in the right direction, Lord, give us direction, Lord. Let us not give up. Let's go the extra mile for these children, for these cases, for these adults, whoever it may be, whoever we're covering. Let's not give up. Lord, you don't rest on us. Let us give the same to you. Let us not rest on you.
We ask for answers in Michael Vaughn's case. We ask for answers in Summer Wells' case. We ask for answers in the cases that do not get the media coverage. Lord, let us be factual, let us be truthful, and let us do what we can to maybe lead to answers. Let us show law enforcement that maybe that true crime can do something to help. God, thank you for everything you do in our lives. Thank you for blessing us with the way you do. Let us find peace, happiness, and joy in our lives, and don't let we rebuke the devil from the anguish and the heartache and just the ill repute that he tries to put out on this world. I ask for blessings for everyone in this chat. If they don't know you, let them know you, Lord, and show them your truth. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Look, and nobody has to believe the way we believe. I don't force it on nobody. It is our job, and the religion is a completely different thing. This is a personal relationship with the Lord. You don't have to go to a building or be, to be closer to God. You don't have to be told by anyone else what to believe. Pick up the word, read it for yourself, pray, and he will be there for you. And he'll bless you in ways you can never imagine. Hold on, no. Hold on, I'm closing it out.
Okay.
All right. You can't get on. About the camera thing, buddy.
Okay.
All right. So that's it. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice, but justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate. Till next time, keep on cracking. God bless. We love you. Do something good for somebody out of the goodness of your heart and let it spread. Like I said, until next time, keep cracking. God bless. Peace. And we're gone.